Welcome. I am the Moonchin King. Today I have a reaction for you. This was requested by the Game Critic. The Game Critic. He subscribes to me. He wanted this for a little while, I believe. I don't think it was last week. It might have been before. But he wanted me to react to Paperboy, NES, Angry Video Game Nerd, episode 140. Now I believe this guy, Angry Video Game Nerd, is quite popular, quite famous within the review community. Episode 140, so clearly he has reviewed a lot of games. He is now called Cinema Massacre. He might always have been called that, but I have a feeling he might have been called Angry Video Game Nerd at some point. I'm not certain, but he has 2.8 million subscribers. Extremely popular, well. And this video has over 4 million views. A popular video. A fairly long video to react to. But it's also over 2 years old. Coming up on 3 years. In about 4 months. So let's get into it. It looks like this is a retro game on the older consoles. I didn't play a lot of those around that time. I must admit, very boring to you. Did not have access, indeed. Who is this duck? Is that not Donald Duck? It is a white duck. Amazing scores.
He's gonna take you back to the past.
Extraordinary bunny. Amazing powers. You! Very disgusting to you!
The rotten asshole of a roadkill skunk, and down it would be.
This is a great intro.
You've ever heard. He's the angry
I saw that video actually. This one.
you've ever heard.
This one. I watched this video. I don't watch this guy really, but for some reason I watched this video. I forgot what the game was called. Angry Truckers or something. Trucker. Terrible game, as I recall.
He's the angry Nintendo nerd. He's the angry
I'm assuming well, yes, 140 episodes. So he has been doing this for a while at this point. He has a good quality intro.
When you think back to the early days of the NES, one title that can't be forgotten is Paperboy. It was one of the first NES games to come from an American company, Atari, who first introduced it as an arcade in 1985. And then it was ported onto more consoles and home computers to count. Commodore 64, Apple II, Amiga, Sega Master System, Game Boy, Game Gear, Genesis.
Amazing
everything
history!
you could possibly think of. There was even a Tiger handheld version. Also, a sequel and an N64 version in 3D style.
Everyone had these games.
It's considered
back in the
first-ranked,
day.
definitive in its field, of enduring interest, the highest nostalgic value. It connected with the public. It's universally renowned, one of the all-time classic video games. And it's all about delivering newspapers.
Newspapers are very important to be delivered. Not anymore, but they were before the internet. We needed our news! Very
It's as
grumpy
basic as
man.
it gets. You're a paper boy riding a bike with one goal: deliver newspapers to the subscribers. For those who remember it, there's nothing more to explain. But for the younger gamers today, you're probably scratching your heads. Maybe not, but if so, I'll clear it up, okay?
Very
A
simple.
newspaper is a publication issued at regular intervals, usually daily or weekly, and contains news, politics, sports, business, finance, advertisements, comics, etc. And they're printed on paper. It was fucking crazy!
very creepy times when people sneak up to your house and give you paper. I do not recommend. They always bump into my lilies and my daffodils and my badgers. They disturb my garden for sure. That's why I got the snakes.
Yes, newspapers still exist, and even Nintendo
What is this guy doing down here?
still makes games, but that's
Very
debatable.
acrobatic.
Anyway, if you know newspapers
What is this
and
guy
old video
doing?
games, let's continue.
Extraordinary
There's 7
athletes
stages,
in the
or should I say
street.
7 days. At the start of each day, you're shown a street map indicating which houses are subscribed.
First of all, this is a very simple looking game. Second of all, following on from that, surely there's not much there is to review. What much can you say about it? From the look so far, I wonder how he made a 16-minute long video on such a game.
subscribers and which ones aren't. Then you're on your way to start delivering papers. Thankfully, you do not have to remember the street map. The subscribers' homes are very easy to recognize. Not by the mailbox, that would make too
Don't
much
you
sense.
get a customization for your
The entire houses
character?
are labeled by color. The white houses are subscribers, the red houses are non-subscribers. Wow. Can you imagine painting your house based on your newspaper subscription? Next time you and your spouse are going over the bills and they're on your case about canceling your subscription to that damn...
I would like a very pink house. Black and pink, or black and red, with some white. That would be very jolly for you.
paper, you'll first have to consider if you really want to go through the effort of painting your house again. The idea is to throw the newspapers, hoping they land on the doormat or into the mailbox for more points.
What nuisances they do! Once I came out my house very innocently, and what do I get? Poop! Ah! I was never the same.
Yeah, points. It was an arcade game, what do you expect? For every house you miss, the next day they become non-subscribers. But you can also lose subscribers by smashing their windows.
Exactly
Apparently there's
to
a
you.
brick inside these newspapers.
More often than not, they go through the windows or down the chimney or through the walls indeed.
All full of bricks. Now I feel really bad for
Very powerful newspaper when it's rolled up.
this Paperboy for carrying such a heavy load. But seriously, can you break a window with a newspaper?
Yes, you
Can't
can.
say I ever tried it.
I have witnessed this many times in my garden. When I was sleeping, I almost got shredded by the glass. This is not a fair comparison because he is not a paper boy. He does not work for paper people. So his paper is not the same, and he doesn't have the training to do this for you. This is not fair. Oh,
Okay, so it's possible.
oh. He is a paper boy in disguise. Oh, he used to be a paper boy, for sure. Or he got secret training. He bribed for the training.
Even if you get one in the mailbox, but you break a window, they unsubscribe. Assholes. They got their paper.
Did you see that guy
I still
across the
delivered it,
street?
didn't I? Dude, if I was a kid and Nintendo Power came crashing through my window, I'd say, fuck yeah! I've been playing this game for almost 30 years.
Why would you play such a silly game for 30 years? Even 1 year? Even 6 months, why would you? Extraordinary people for you.
And aiming the newspapers has always been a problem. The game is tilted in an awkward isometric angle, which was ambitious for its time, but annoying as hell. When you throw a paper, you have to time it perfectly, and even after the paper is airborne, it changes its trajectory based on the movement of your bike. You just have to throw it and hope by some miracle it hits the mark.
Why don't they just get off the bike and place it neatly on the ground or through the letterbox? You don't want that.
Sort of like a game kids used to play in the 60s where they would shit in 2 separate toilets and flush them simultaneously hoping their turds would meet.
Ah, this was a favorite game of mine. except I had 4 toilets and a chimney.
Actually, I just made that up.
2 chimneys!
It wouldn't be as hard if you weren't so busy moving around avoiding hazards. I'm never able to split my attention to the mailbox and the road at the same time.
Never go out in public. This is what happens to you. Very dangerous perils await you on public pathways.
I'm either going to break a window or fall on my ass and kill myself. Not to mention, only 3 hits and the game's over.
Ooh, very tricky!
Damn, I was so close.
3 hits and you're out.
Again?
3
Jesus
strikes and you're
fuck.
out.
Ugh.
Ooh,
You know what pisses me off the most?
I like
is that
angry
nobody
people.
else seems to think this is that hard. But for me, aiming the newspaper into the mailbox is like trying to slingshot a dingleberry from a playground's roundabout that's situated on a moving parade float, aiming into a bottle cap that's tied by a string to a Himalayan snowcock while drunk. It would take
This is
somebody from
amazing
NASA who knows
detail
how to
he
calculate
provides.
exactly when a certain
He has personal experience for certain of this nature.
asteroid is going to pass by a certain planet when it's lined up with a certain constellation.
And he's
during a
still
certain
going.
moon phase. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to calculate my cat's shit comets it spreads across the carpet after wiping its ass on it.
I
before its
cannot
anal glands have
comprehend
been
what he's
evacuated.
telling me.
But hang
I
on,
cannot
what are we talking about here?
even
What's at
begin
stake?
to
Getting a newspaper to
decipher
land on a doormat
you.
or, God forbid, into a mailbox?
Tell me what he's
When would that
saying.
ever happen? All the times I've witnessed newspapers being delivered, it's more like this.
An interpreter is
There.
required.
Have you ever seen anybody launch
Yes, I have seen people launch. I've seen them put them into grenade launchers, rocket launchers, catapults, trebuchets. I've seen them put onto those cross, what are they called? Those cross, not the bow and, well, I've seen bow and arrow also, but the cross one too. I have witnessed so much for you. Hot air balloons, they drop them like bombs. In planes! You would not believe what I have witnessed in my life. By these paper boys. For you.
one into a mailbox? No! Nobody
Yes!
tries that.
Yes!
If you did, you'd be a town hero. You'd get your dick sucked.
There were
Cats
many
would bow
heroes.
at your feet. Even the neighborhood pit bull would spread out onto the ground to bask in your glory.
That is not a pit bull. That is a gorilla.
They just drop them near the curb, maybe in the driveway where you.
What is this silly thing around the newspaper? Never have I witnessed this. Usually it comes in hard casing, like bombs come in, like when they drop from the plane. Those hard casing. What is it, this plasticky thing?
You'll run over in the
Oh, is it
car on your way to
paper? More
work and it'll
paper.
get soaked by rain before you even realize it's there until the water and paper consistency turns
No, trust me, you will know when they put it through your face.
it into a soppy, inky mush, and then it dries in the sun looking like some kind of kindergarten paper mache fuck-up. Nowadays, newspapers are usually delivered by cars. I mean, by people in cars, but
Are they? Are they? I have never witnessed this in my life.
I guess newspaper adult car driving deliverer wouldn't have made such a great game. But neither did this. You want to deliver something? Deliver us from the torment of this horrible game!
I thought he said he was playing it for 30 years. How can it be so horrible if he's played it for 30 years? Unless I misheard. Unless he's crazy.
How hard would it actually be to throw a newspaper into a mailbox? Only one way to find out.
Very lonely mailbox. But he has not had the training. He has not had the expertise. The correct method. I bet Mrs. Lorenzi could teach him a thing or two. She is very skilled to you. She is very creepy to me. Very mean. He is
What I
very
thought.
mean to that mail. Ooh,
It's more fun to
to
break
that
the windows
mailbox.
anyway, so fuck it. Extra, extra! Paperboy goes mad! Here's some assifies!
This is more
Here
like
you
what
go,
I
daily
remember.
douchebag! 10% off your next purchase, so fuck you! Cloudy
this
with
is
the
what I
chance of ass
remember.
kicking! Dear Abby, make him eat shit! Crosswords, can you spell cunt? Horoscopes, you will achieve greatness in hell!
This is like the war zone.
Here's the real kicker.
That
You
it
know
was
how to turn a
reality.
non-subscriber into a subscriber? You know what you do? Break their windows. Is that in your job duty? Is that the protocol? Your boss tells you...
Yes, this was very conventional behavior back when I was younger. I remember Paperboys. They came in droves. Armies, masses to kill you.
Look, if they don't subscribe, send them a paper anyway.
They
through their
left
window. I'd
gravestones
like to know
behind
more about this
them.
boss. Who is this person who has such extreme solutions to things? This is the type of person who takes out a housefly with a grenade, and every time their car runs out of gas, buys a new car. You're breaking people's windows. They have
People's windows were made of paper when I was younger. No problem to you.
to get new glass fast. It's cold at night. There's bugs getting in. Please, we'll subscribe to your paper.
Bugs were the least of your worries, for sure. You should have been worrying more about starvation.
Just stop breaking our windows. Another weird thing about this game is trying to pause it. I don't even know how to explain it, but if you press the start button too quickly, it doesn't stay paused. It only lasts for a fraction of a second. Like if you blinked, you miss it.
Very tricky to me.
You have to be very deliberate with how you press it. I've never seen this phenomenon in any other NES game. Now let's talk about the in-game
This is
oddities that
interesting
you'll
for
witness.
sure.
Take this home,
Maybe
for
it's
example.
possessed by a
Impeccable
demon.
and spacious, with 4 beds, 2 baths, 2,500 square feet, new kitchen, stainless steel appliances, granite counters, hardwood floors, central air, heat, professionally landscaped front yard.
Look at these
and 2
gravestones.
gravestones.
Yeah,
And plenty open lots for the rest of your family.
that is what I witnessed.
Why are there gravestones in the front yard?
Because
And
they
how do you
keep getting
knock them over
killed.
with your newspapers?
Ah!
These are some powerful papers.
Yes.
Maybe the gravestones are just styrofoam Halloween decorations.
No.
They're the only home that
People
celebrates.
died
We're only
during
getting
these
started. Who's
deliveries.
this crazy woman? This enraged beast that comes flying at you? She's a subscriber too.
That is my
you don't even have
mother,
to break
for
a window
sure.
to trigger her. In fact, I landed a paper right on her doormat, and she still wants me dead. What's her deal? Maybe she read too much
She wants revenge, of course, from killing her husband and her children. Ah!
Marmaduke and Family Circus. How do you make the same comic strip every day? There's no way it can all be good. And this guy here, can you take that inside? Really? Do you have to do that on the sidewalk? You fucking pervert. Then there's a tire
He is pumping the ground for oil and natural resources. He loves gold.
that randomly comes rolling out from behind the house. Who's back there? Rolling tires. Get a life.
It seems there was a lot
About
to
the
review
lawnmower,
in this
the
game,
remote
after
control
all.
Cars, the break dancer. Yeah, he's break dancing all by himself on the sidewalk. Is it a challenge? Did I get served? What's this? A tornado?
That is not break dance. That is called a seizure. Also very common. Seizure. Whenever the Paperboys come. People get also post-traumatic stress and relapsed memories from the last time they arrived, which was yesterday.
Tornado or the
Look how tiny these trees are. Abnormalities.
Tasmanian fucking devil. If there's a tornado coming through town, I think the residents have bigger issues than not getting their papers. Can't I take the day off if there's a fucking tornado?
No, it's not Tasmanian devil. It's called the Toe Man. The Toe Man. I remember this guy.
Warning? Maybe it's Simon Belmont. You didn't know that. After he used the tornado, he had to pass through Paperboy before he reached the other side. How about the lawn ornament? It's the famous lawn jockey statue, an old tradition seen in Home Alone, for example. This may be common, but it's not common to see them come alive. This should be making headlines. I should be delivering extra, extra, lawn ornament attacks Paperboy, instead of Paperboy calls it quits. That's not newsworthy. Then there's the dog. That's the
True,
only
true,
thing that makes
true,
sense. The
true.
only hazard a Paperboy might actually encounter.
There's a cute
but
doggy.
Man, does this dog run far? Somebody needs to get a fence. And
The Grim Reaper. See, I told you, death is all around when the Paperboy comes.
Reaper is in town. That's a problem. Here,
You are
read
the
the
problem.
obituaries, you piece of shit.
The Grim Reaper knows exactly where to go to reap the souls of the dying, because he knows that the Paperboy is coming, and he only seeks destruction and death.
You would think maybe the instruction manual has some backstories to these characters.
No, I would
maybe
not.
There's a reason why all this is happening. But no, it lists the obstacles, and that's it. Even Jekyll and Hyde had a detailed character list with illustrations and stories. This manual tells you the absolute minimum. Only
It's very important to be minimal in a game where you're a paperboy delivering papers, and that is it. You want the whole origin story. You want histories for every little obstacle. No, no, no. This is not how your enlightenment will work for you.
what you need to know to play the game. No illustrations, except for the controller. It's one of the most boring NES manuals I've ever seen. And if I can say anything at all about Jekyll and Hyde being better, then you know you have problems.
Jekyll and Hyde is a hero of mine. He is very creepy to you.
Speaking of Jekyll and Hyde, there's something about this that reminds me of it. It's an ordinary town full of things that wouldn't normally be dangerous. It's made to look innocent, but it's all a trick. Listen to the music. It's peaceful and mellow.
That is the greatest trick of all.
It makes you feel like there's nothing too urgent going on. Like you're the one who's fucking up. It annoys me to the very core of my soul. Ever since I've played this game as a kid, I've had a personal vendetta against it. Did I just hit a bright
He has a very funky chin. Have you noticed when he's angry?
green Model T that's parked? Could I be humiliated anymore? And I respawn right behind it? Are you kidding me? What would happen if an actual Paperboy fell off his bike? Nobody gets their
He would self-explode. That's what would happen.
papers? You can't ride over the curb. If you're in the street, you're stuck there until there's a driveway. That's your only window of opportunity to get back onto the sidewalk. But there's always something in your way.
Very creepy people. Is he a zombie? Why is he green? Oh, that's the grass. He's got no face. And his hair is extraordinary. Why is he bleeding all over?
That forces you back down, so you're always trapped in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Come to think of it, the game hardly uses much of the screen at all. Half the space is taken up by the houses. You'll never go to the left very much. So that area of the screen is completely wasted. It's like
You call this wasted. I call it beauty to me.
Back to the Future. You're moving through a town, you can't do anything to stop yourself from moving, and every common thing is out to kill you. But imagine if you were playing Back to the Future crammed into the corner of the screen, and if you make it onto the sidewalk,
You exaggerate much, angry man.
now you're playing Silver Surfer. Ask any newspaper delivery person, hey, what's your job like? I doubt they'd say, it's like Silver Surfer stretched over a sidewalk. As for the houses, that's any NES game.
Are you
before
certain it's
been
not like that?
It's nothing.
That's how I imagine it to be like.
Fuck! Deadly dick! This is impossible. With only 3 lives? Maybe there's a secret method.
Are you
Wish
sure
there's
it's
a
not like
strategy
that?
guide.
Do you have experience?
What the hell?
Ah,
Wow.
power to you.
The official Paperboy.
He's very lucky it did not hit his head and explode. I have witnessed fireworks, shall we say.
Strategy guide.
You will be disappointed. Isn't that the objective of most games? Just do not get hit. Very simple.
Whenever you make it to the end of the street, you're treated to an obstacle course finale. Why would you pass through an obstacle course after delivering papers? Does it just happen?
This is his test to get back to his company. They want to make sure they have the best employees who are fit, who are soldiers, who can go through many of life's tests. They need to be the best in the world. That is why they do this to you.
Happen to be on the way, or was this the ultimate goal all along? I'd say this kid deserves a little fun. I mean, he has a pretty dangerous job, and remember, he still has to go to school afterwards. He even gets some fanfare. That's right. There's been people sitting there the whole time waiting.
Extraordinary. Three
What's
people.
Up with the guy on the right? Looks like his head is missing. The obstacles have
See,
no
I told
rhyme or
you. These people, they have no play. They have no innocence. They have no humanity.
reason. Cones, hoops, and ramps
He works for monsters.
are scattered like random, as if the programmer stamped them all over the place while blindfolded. It's like designing a course in Excitebike for your first time. And whenever a path splits, it's all a matter of chance if there's going to be a wall blocking the way. With the ramps, you have to be lined up perfectly. Fuck this isometric angle! Fuck! Fuck!
Homer Simpson would have a great time with this. Bravo, bravo, bravo.
You know what? I hate this game. If you can't already tell, some people are good at it.
I
and
thought
say
he
it
liked
takes
the
time
game.
to get used to. Yeah, I'd say almost 30 years and I still suck just as bad. For everybody who's taken.
Why does he keep playing the game if he hates it so much and he's not even good at it? Who is this guy? He is nonsensical to me.
A beating down the friendly neighborhood of Fucksfield, USA, but still remembers it as this great nostalgic pastime. I'm here to remind you, Paperboy.
He has many metaphors for you. Many analogies that I cannot decipher.
Was not all sparkles and sunshine, so I suggest you unsubscribe to your sentimentality. Now I have a delivery to make.
Be careful out there. Be careful. Whoa! He is going crazy. Ah! Be careful to you! Oh. That was,
Yeah!
This is what you get for turning into a maniac. Extraordinary reveal. Extraordinary game. I have not played it. I have not even witnessed my friend play it. Maybe we knew the signs. Maybe we knew this would lead to our demise, our insanity, and then the Grim Reaper comes and crashes into me. What say you? Have you ever played it? Have you ever witnessed it? The Game Critic, thank you for your request. I hope you stay with you. Tell me your thoughts. Show me your crimes. And remember, jump on that subscribe button if you would like to eat the cheese. Farewell, my Moonchins. Take care, my Moonchins. And do have a creepy day. Ah!